All right, welcome into the second hour of the Chase and Big Joe show here on 102.5. The Game brought to you by the Omni Nashville Hotel. 1:30, we'll talk to Ben Wright.
Yeah, with 615 Soccer.
About Nashville SC setting the world on fire and doing something last night that no MLS team has ever done before. And at 2 o'clock, we'll talk to the mayor of Montgomery County as the Nashville Cats get ready for Friday night up there. I'm telling you, if you got nothing to do, go to the game Friday night. If you're around, make the drive. Go to Clarksville. It is an absolute blast to watch those games and have fun with it. We'll be on the call Friday night, so looking forward to that. All right, Dr. Crane, your episode of the Maury Povich Show begins now.
Yeah, thank you, Joseph. Much appreciated. Now, I was listening to a clip online, and it was, and I saw it on TV as well because they broadcast it on the NBC channel or whatever it is. Mike Florio and Chris Sims discussing the Mike Vrabel, Diana Russini situation, right?
Okay.
And as Chris Sims was about to speak, he was interrupted multiple times. Brandon, if we have that clip.
Well, it's the biggest story in the NFL. I mean, you know, I wouldn't. I'd shoot you straight. These are things that I've been texting with about my friend, with my friends in the coaching world. Even their wives are involved in the conversation as well.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Careful. I'm trying to. You ever see Star Wars?
Yeah.
You ever see Star Wars?
Yeah.
As Luke is going down the I don't know. I'm not enough of a Star Wars nerd to know all the terms, but his wingman is telling him stay on target.
Right.
I'm just giving you. I don't look. There's a lot there, and there's only so much that is reported and known, and that's I'm just trying to help.
All right. In Star Wars, did they tell that they have a thing called "shut up" and just let the person talk? How about that? Then tell me that and read that line back to yourself.
I'm just trying to help you.
All right.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So there's that. And by the way, that was just an absolute shamble of a back and forth.
So let me ask you this.
Sure.
Why is Florio?
Mike Florio?
Why is he shutting Chris Sims up?
I think Chris Sims knows a little something about the NFL, and I'm not saying that there's a big issue with this.
Right.
But if he's saying that wives are being involved and he's stopping him immediately about that, obviously Florio, being a reporter himself, he writes about some things here and there. Maybe he knows something in the grapevine. I just think there's like not an unsaid rule about things, but if there's something that's a back and forth that probably shouldn't see the light of day, I get that. But this is something that's been brought up in the news. Like if it's being reported about, these pictures,
sure.
Pictures have been out there for weeks on end. There have been, an X amount of dollars for it to be, given to a certain outlet of some sort.
Okay.
Like if it's out there, allow Chris Sims to speak on it. Like he's hopefully not going to say something that is inappropriate and or not of the.
Well, I don't think he would.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that, he has a platform. Allow him to say something about it. I just think having Mike Florio stop him without saying anything makes it look even worse.
Well, it does, and plus, it's a massive story.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you want to believe it's a massive story or not, it is, because it's been reported. They got pictures. She resigned from her job yesterday.
Which made it look even worse.
Yeah. So had there not been pictures and just rumors and allegations with no physical, visible evidence, then it's kind of like, hey, there's not, what are you talking about? But there's all these pictures. She resigned. So it is a story.
Right.
And if Sims can push the story forward a little bit with what he's hearing, what he's talking to, that's it's an opinion, right? And then that's fine. And to do that, but to totally ignore this is asinine.
Exactly. And when you do not allow somebody to speak on an opinion about this, it again brings it a little bit more murkier. And also to the pictures point, Joe, I think I sent it to you and Chase a couple of weeks ago when this whole thing took place.
Uh-huh.
There was a picture tweeted out by Dave Portnoy, regardless of what you think about his company or his stance on whatever. He tweeted out a picture of, I think it was PMT, pardon my take, with Big Cat, and then it had Taylor Lewan and Will Compton. Those four were there, accompanied with Mike Vrabel and Diana Russini. So if those are the friends they're talking about.
They were all in the pool?
I have a picture of it. Portnoy tweeted it out, yeah. I'll show it to you.
I didn't know this.
I sent it to you guys.
Is that Photoshop, though? I think it was Photoshopped.
Portnoy is tweeting it out. I
thought it was Photoshopped that they were all there, because there's a picture of like Lewan and Compton holding Vrabel's hands on top of the building.
Well, there's
right?
that
I think so. You don't know what's real and what's not, but the fact that she resigned, means there's something there.
Well, also too, even even if you resign, like I don't think she should have resigned from the Athletic because, again, that brings more magnitude to the situation, brings more eyeballs to it. I think if you just allow yourself to ride your contract out to June is what it is.
Yeah.
Allow it to ride out, I guess play recovery ball, whatever you want to say.
Right. There was no way she was going to cover the draft.
No.
Because when the reporter becomes bigger than the story, get out of here. And that's what a good reporter does not want to be the story. She's become the story. And if who New York Times, I think, owns The Athletic or whatever. I don't subscribe. I don't read it. So I don't know all the details. But the New York Times stood behind her until they were like, all right, we're not there. Okay. Until they don't stand behind her, until it's like we moved on with this. So
right.
It's a big deal. So Florio trying to shut up Chris Sims makes him look dumb.
Exactly. And you wonder why a lot more other people are not talking about this, and I guess people that cover the NFL. It doesn't have to be their show specifically, but just in other outlets as well. I just think it's a little interesting.
Well, I'm all about drama when I'm not involved.
Sure.
I try to avoid all drama in my life. So if I'm not involved, just to watch what's going on here from a different perspective. But, I mean, at some point, Vrabel's going to come out the draft and make a statement. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to talk about that. And those Boston reporters are going to be relentless on him and keep going and going and going. And he's going to get frustrated like he usually does and gets mad and moves on. But I still think it's a big story.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind me kind of pitching in here, because
pal.
Nick, you brought up something that I thought was really interesting just with Florio, and he mentioned we don't actually know anything. There's wives involved, and I get all of that, but Joe, like you said, this is way too big of a story for it not to be talked about, and I think that he's trying to, innocent before proven guilty. But the crazy irony about everything that has happened with this whole Diana Russini situation is that everything after has been so guilt-ridden. Him saying the whole, we don't have to talk about it, that makes it guilty. Her leaving when there was an investigation on makes it look guiltier when we don't actually know anything. But everything that's happened after the fact has been so guilt-ridden to where it looks like there was something up. Apparently there was a girls' trip. Where's the pictures of that? I've never heard of a girls' trip without some sort of picture.
Yeah.
There's so many ways where this could have been done and dusted and killed off already, and it just seems to be getting worse by their own actions that make them look guilty when there actually isn't anything proven.
Well, also, you would have think that one of the other friends in the pool would have spoken up like, hey, we were there, there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
And those guys, who I don't know, again, there's a whole lot out there, but all we know is that she resigned. Right? And then her statement is like, well, did she admit this time to move on?
Yeah, stepping away.
Right. By no means do I think her career's over. By no means do I think her career's over.
And again, I mentioned to you before the show and kind of in between some of the breaks, look at Netflix right now. They're literally signing people left and right. They grabbed Elle Duncan from SportsCenter. She was hosting the opening night of baseball. It was the Yankees versus the Giants. It was a panel with Albert Pujols, Barry Bonds, Anthony Rizzo. Besides the point, I don't know what baggage. I don't think there's any baggage with her because
I have no idea who this is.
Exactly. She's a former host with ESPN, but her contract was ended. She signed with Netflix. What I'm saying is Netflix is just signing everybody left and right to where that if and when Diana Russini wants to come back to sports. And again, I heard a good point yesterday on DVD when they were talking about John Gruden and how he had to step away for 4 to 5 years. Again, it's a different scenario. She's a woman. He's a man. It's a different scenario in that point. But when you have to step away for a little bit, I think that's what you have to really emphasize on. That when you step away, you're going to have to find an outlet that wants to take you back.
Gruden sent out racist emails.
Right. And he paid the price for it.
Yeah. Big time.
And a
lot of people are still not happy with him, and I understand it.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I think for Russini to kind of recover from this, I don't know if it has to be a 4 to 5 year wait or whatever it may be. I just think it's the credibility of the source that would say, hey, I'm willing to take you back.
Let me ask you this. Would this be different if it was Russini with the coach of another team that's nowhere near here, but the fact that it's Vrabel, this is for us here in Middle Tennessee because it's Vrabel, it hits a little different?
I'd say it hits a little different, but also, it does hit a little different because she was reporting a lot of things about the Titans when she never really was here in the market.
Correct.
So that's another thing that drives a lot of people crazy.
Yes, like the 2023 draft and CJ Stroud and all that went on. It's like, what? And you knew that there was some sort of a leak. She was getting all the information. So I don't know. I just think had it been a coach at another team, I don't know, somewhere else, that there's not a lot of vested interest in Nashville with that, then I think it would have hit a little bit different. But that it's Vrabel, and there's a lot of schadenfreude out there, where you take pleasure in somebody else's pain. And I think there's a lot of Titans fans that still think that about Mike Vrabel. Now, a lot of guys or girls, fans have moved on, he's gone, whatever. But I still think a lot of people want to see that dude fail.
Yeah, and I find the whole thing just interesting from the standpoint of just, like you said, drama. If you're not in it, definitely talk about it,
right.
Whatever. But I just found it really interesting that Mike Florio is halting a guy in Chris Sims that wants to talk about it and doesn't allow him to say really anything about it at all.
Yeah, you got a little fired up for that too. Let the guy talk. I'll let you talk.
I love the speech, man. You got to love it. I mean,
are you a Star Wars nerd?
No. That's why when he said stay on target, I'm like, what? Is he referring to something? When I first heard, I was like, are you referring to something on the screen?
What was the stay on target of what?
I don't know. Just stay on target of the conversation.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
But I don't get, this
the
is
Star Wars reference. I have no clue.
This is a massive, massive story. I don't think we've seen anything like this in a long time.
No.
Can I toss one more quick question to you?
Brandon,
because
yes.
I feel like there's a perspective of it that a lot of people haven't thought about. How would you feel if you were a source of another team that had been giving things to Diana Russini and you see Mike Vrabel and her that close? You don't know what she's telling him.
So are you saying this is a whole nother subject, right? To go, if you're on another team and Russini's your source, you're right.
If you're a Russini source.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, and you'll learn this, Brando, and so will you, Dr. Crane. Don't trust anybody. Keep your mouth shut, because you know why? People love to talk. With that being said, break time. We'll come back with more right here. This is Jason Big Joe Show. Brought to we want to hear what you think. 615-737-1025. Text or call. We'd love to hear from you right here. They're brought to you by the Omni Nashville Hotel, 1025 The Game. All right, welcome back to the Chase and Big Joe Show. Oh, man. I tell you all the time, our texter, 615-737-1025. You guys and girls are absolutely beautiful and brilliant. Dr. Crane has a mea culpa.
You have to explain that one too, Joe. I mean, above my head. I can't see. I can't hear.
You have to you made a mistake.
I did.
You got to own it.
And I will apologize for it because things look so real online. And when you zoom in, you can't even tell the difference.
You said that Taylor Lewan, Will Compton.
That's what was in the picture.
We're in the pool with Vrabel and Russini.
Hold up, people of the jury. I did say at the beginning, I said, regardless of what the picture may show and or the person that put it out in Dave Portnoy.
Gosh.
I did say that.
I'm sorry.
So let me just put that out there.
Okay.
But minus that.
No, there's no minus that.
Minus that. I apologize. Okay? We continue with the show of regular scheduled programming.
Why would you in today's age and that Portnoy being
it's sad that you didn't even help stop the problem.
I was like, where are you going? That guy's a complete jackass.
Well, that's what I said, regardless
Do you not think Lewan and Compton with their big mouths would have said something by now?
Well,
yes.
Yeah, but there was a video that Taylor Lewan put out, and it was the backdrop, and it was a video, and it was like of the same area in Sedona. That's why I try to put two and two together, which made sense.
Somebody put a video of Compton and Lewan holding Vrabel's hand on top of the building.
But that one's fake.
So is the picture you're talking about.
Well, I'm talking about a separate video that Lewan put out by himself.
Please, more of that.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, God. I mean, if anything, I'm getting a good ab workout today for this.
I hope so.
My Lord, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that?
Nobody would have ever thought this.
See, and that'd be even bigger story that goes on with it. I mean,
let's not.
You don't think they would have blabbed something about being on that part right there? I mean, who knows?
Probably. Probably not.
Oh my gosh!
Are you happy? Are you happy now?
Well, you just need to apologize.
I did. I apologized up front. I did. Right. I'm a man of my word.
Do you just in today's age with AI and photoshopping,
Dude, I am
You need
90,
like 8 sources.
I'm 97 years old. I've told this to many people. This phone right here will destroy the world. It already has.
But what was brilliant about this is that you had such conviction
Yeah.
that they were in the hot tub together, whatever they were in together.
I just said the picture looks real.
The picture looks real.
It does. You see, I've asked you multiple times to look at it, and you're not going to look at it.
Because I've seen that picture. It's fake.
Then why'd you not say it in the first place?
I was like, where are you going with this? But you had such conviction. I was like, all right.
Whatever.
That's good then. All right.
Keep recovering.
Will you bring this up on your little show with Connor Newt Saturday morning? What's that called now?
That won't happen on Saturday, actually.
Why not?
I got a big event, so I can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've talked about it already.
What's that show called now?
It's called The Weekend Huddle.
The
Catch
Weekend
that from
Huddle.
9 to 11.
Who's on that show now?
Connor Newt, Christian Skelton, and yours truly.
Christian Skelton.
Yeah.
No, Jake's moved on from you guys.
Jake has. He's 9 to noon.
It's like when Bargatze moved on from Nateland, the podcast.
And then he renamed it.
But he's still not on there. He's
Still.
gone. He took off from you.
Renamed it.
All right, what do we got going? For those that didn't know, Nashville SC won a huge game last night. First time an MLS team's ever won in that stadium, right?
Stadio Azteca.
That's a big deal.
Massive.
Big deal. What do we got next?
Ben Wright with 615 Soccer, founder of 615 Soccer. He'll join us next right here on Chasing Big Joe.
Send it out, baby.
Yep, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Big Joe Dubin, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier, Brandon Bigsby behind the glass.
Brando.
We have on now after the wonderful win from Nashville SC 1-0 against Club América last night for the first time at Stadio Azteca. Ben Wright is on the line. Ben, how are you, man?
Yo, I'm good. I am recovering from about 2.5 hours of sleep last night, but definitely better than if Nashville had lost that game for sure.
You got that right for sure. You were one of the, I guess, only people online to report the Sam Surge news about the hamstring that's day-to-day. Can you give a little bit more insight on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton more to give. He did not get on the plane to Mexico City. I don't know if he picked the injury up in training or if he played the last 15 minutes or so of the 2-1 win in Charlotte last weekend. So yeah, still trying to get some clarity on when the injury occurred and I guess what his prognosis is. But yeah, remarkable that Nashville were able to pull out that win without Surge, who's been their best player so far this season.
Yeah, I think the big thing when looking at Nashville's match last night against Club América, and even BJ's mentioned this, and I've kind of honed in on it, is that, you know, they haven't been really clean in the attacking third. And last night, obviously, it was very fitting for a guy in Hani Mukhtar to score the lone goal of the match when he was one of the very first on this club, the big signings. But what did you think about the final third when it came to Nashville's cleanliness and passing the ball around the net?
Yeah, I think it's always going to be tough to ask any team to be super clean in the Azteca just with, I mean, first of all, Club América are one of the kind of elite teams in definitely North America, but the Western Hemisphere in general. So I think it's a big ask for teams to go in and play a super clean game. At some point, you kind of just have to grind it out a little bit. I think Nashville definitely did that in the first half, but as the second half went on, I think Nashville really grew into the game, controlled the ball a lot more. I think you saw them create more chances. Christian Espinosa should have scored a second goal kind of towards the end of the game. So, yeah, I was really impressed with how they grew into the game, especially considering the altitude. Usually it's the opposite. You'll see teams kind of look okay for the first 20 or 30 minutes and then just get gassed quickly. And I was really impressed with how Nashville handled it.
Yeah, I feel like Nashville absorbed pressure well when it came to Club América kind of funneling more players centrally than out in the wider parts of the field. But overall, looking at just the defenders, Jason Palacios, Maxwell Wolitzy both had a really good game. Obviously, not Wolitzy, but Palacios went off early with around the 80th minute, give or take. And then Jack Mayer came in. It seemed like it was a non-contact injury for Palacios. Anything on that? Have you heard?
Yeah, we didn't get to ask BJ Callahan about that specifically after the game. We're going to talk to him Friday before their MLS match. Palacios looked like he was moving around fine after the game. Initially, when he went down, it looked like just a cramp. He had kind of been struggling on and off throughout the match. I think, again, altitude. So I wasn't super concerned by it, but we'll see what his status is for Saturday. And again, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Nashville rotate anyway, just with kind of the fixture congestion they've had. So I don't know if him not playing on Saturday means that he's dealing with any kind of serious injury.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the rotation because a guy in Warren Madrigal who's seen a lot of minutes the last few games, especially against Charlotte, starting up there with Whoopin' Pacious up top, and then starting last night, that is, against Club America in the second leg. You wonder where he fits in the fold for Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, he's young. He's 21, and I think there are just some players who are able to play a lot of minutes back to back to back. I mean, Maxwell Waleji has played like 85% of available minutes so far this year. He's 24, so he's on the younger side. But then you have a guy like Hani Mukhtar, 31. He's played the third most minutes on the team so far this year, even with rotation. So I think it's kind of maybe a player by player type thing. For whatever reason, it feels like Madrigal is a guy who's able to just kind of go out multiple times a week and put in a pretty similar level of performance. And again, I think in Charlotte, you saw that even when Nashville rotate, they're not like completely rotating. They still leave a few key guys in, and they're able to get results. So I would expect a guy like Madrigal to at least be involved in Atlanta. I don't know if he's going to start or play the full 90, but I'd be surprised if he's not on the field at some point.
Yeah, another player that's made his debut with the club in this tournament, and that's Reed Baker-Whiting. He's just been an integral part of this defensive side of the ball for Nashville. Obviously had a little bit of an issue last night getting a ball past him, just a through ball, and the player from Club America made a run in behind him. But minus that, I feel like he's played at a very high level for this Nashville team and has really contributed valuable minutes with Daniel Lovitz playing majority of the MLS season.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's probably the first choice left back at this point. I mean, in the biggest games so far this season, he started ahead of Dan Lovitz. And look, I mean, Lovitz has been one of the most important players for Nashville, like since they joined MLS. But he's also 34. He's going to turn 35 here in not too long. And I think anyone who's kind of followed the team knew that at some point they were going to have to look for younger options at both fullback spots. I don't think anyone really thought they'd be able to go out and grab a player like Baker-Whiting, who is, I mean, he just turned 21, but he's been kind of one of the premier young players in MLS. He had almost 80 appearances for the Sounders before he turned 21. He's also been a guy who's played against teams from Mexico, I mean, in Leagues Cup when the Sounders won it. So I think he has experience in games like this. And I've just been pretty blown away by his ability to jump into the team seamlessly, what looks like win the starting job and contribute at a really high level off the bat.
Yeah, Ben Wright's with us here from 615 Soccer, the founder and executive editor of 615 Soccer. Ben, another one for you before we let you go. Looking at this team as a whole, getting the big win last night over Club America, it seems like they're probably going to be playing Tigres in the semifinal round of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. And if Nashville were to make it to the final, it doesn't seem like they'd be hosting it due to the just different outplays of it with LAFC scoring more goals and having more points overall in the entire tournament. But what do you think might happen with Nashville if they do end up playing Tigres in the semifinals?
Yeah, so I mean, I think there's theoretically a way that Nashville could host the final. It would probably mean they have to win both legs of the semifinal, and I think probably make up some goal differential. So it's a long shot, but not out of the question. I'm not convinced that it's going to be Tigres. I mean, they have a 2-0 lead heading into the second leg of their quarterfinal with Seattle tonight. But I mean, I think Seattle are probably a better team. They've also been experienced in this tournament before, and they, for whatever reason, seem to be able to kind of pull out results. So I would not be shocked at all if Seattle kind of make up that goal differential and end up advancing. I think either way, it's going to be a similar test for Nashville in the semifinals. I mean, both of these teams have been in CONCACAF Champions Cup finals within the past 5-6 years. So definitely a tough test, but I think for Nashville, they've already taken out Miami. They've already taken out Club America. And I think at this point, they'll kind of back themselves against whoever they face.
I like it. Ben, real quick, I did a Google search about Nashville SC's win last night, and everywhere I'm looking, shocking, historic, shocking. Just how big on the international landscape was that win last night for Nashville SC?
I mean, it's massive. I mean, the Azteca, the stadium that they played at, is one of the most historic stadiums, I would say, definitely in the Western Hemisphere, but even in kind of global soccer, it's the only stadium to ever host 2 World Cup finals. It's the stadium where Diego Maradona had his kind of famous hand of God goal in the 1986 World Cup final. No MLS team had ever won there. So just Nashville going in there, not just getting a result, but winning the match is pretty historic. And yeah, I think it doesn't just make international news, but I think it kind of establishes Nashville as one of the really elite teams in North American soccer.
Now, can they carry, and look, I'm the ignorant one here. Not Nick knows all this, and you know all this, but as a guy just watching from outside looking in, can they take this momentum and apply it to the MLS and just keep rolling? Or is it like, man, we got to give the CONCACAF our energy, MLS our energy? Are they able to put both together and still perform at a high level?
Yeah, that's always been the tricky part of it, right? You've seen teams like Seattle Sounders, they won this tournament back in 2022 and had really a pretty big drop-off in the MLS regular season after the fact, just because you have to expend so much energy at the start of really your season. I mean, Nashville are only a few games into their regular season. So, I mean, it's a big ask. I think you're seeing that Nashville have more depth than they've ever had before. I mean, they were able to rotate against a really good Charlotte team who had lost, I think, just 3 times at home in the last year. They were able to rotate and go there and get a result. They're currently on top of the Eastern Conference and one of the top teams in MLS right now. So far they're doing it. I think the other thing to look at too is that this year you're going to have a 2-month break for the World Cup, and that's never really been a thing before. And so I think it works out for Nashville because it gives them the ability to maybe go a little bit harder after this tournament and not have to worry too much about dropping off over the summer, because you know that you're going to have a 2-month break to kind of recover, reset, add some players in the transfer window. And I think it gives them maybe a unique ability to make a deep run in CONCACAF and kind of continue this level in MLS.
Yeah, been to that point when you mentioned the World Cup. Nashville obviously qualified for another tournament. That's the League's Cup. That will take place, I believe, in August. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But that to me, I think, bodes well for Nashville, because not a lot of these players, minus Patrick Yazbek and maybe 1 or 2 other players on this roster, are not going to get called up to the World Cup. So it feels like, to me, Nashville will have all their guys healthy, and you just kind of be going status quo, maybe training here and there, get a little bit of time off, but then you're just going to ramp it right back up with a bunch of healthy players in August.
Yeah, I agree. I think it gives them the ability to maybe push players a little bit more than we've seen in the past, because, I mean, dog days of summer are a real thing in MLS, and you see teams start to get tired, start to drop off a little bit. I mean, it's miserable playing in most of these stadiums in July. Like 95 degrees is not fun to play in for anybody. And so I think you see teams having to manage minutes a lot more. And so really, I think it kind of splits this up into almost two mini seasons in the spring and in the fall. And so I'm fascinated to see how Nashville and really every MLS club handles it. I also think it works out well, because in the past, the summer transfer window came really with only a third of the season left. And so any summer signings only had a few games to really make an impact. You ended up seeing most summer signings kind of made as a signing for next year. This year, they're going to have at least half the season, maybe even more than half the season after the transfer window opens. So you can see teams make signings who will have bigger impacts on this year. And so, I think it works out for Nashville really well.
Ben Wright with 615 Soccer, founder and executive editor of 615soccer.com. Ben, appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Hey, Nick, thanks for having me. Always fun talking with you.
Ben Wright, 615
well
Soccer.
Well done. I enjoy these conversations because, again, I don't know anything about soccer, but hearing you guys, kind of by osmosis, I pick up, do this. But I did the Google search, and it's pages and pages, historic, massive win.
Yeah, and to the point of the international stage of it all, just getting that brand out there, recognizing on social media for Nashville SC, they've done a bunch of collaboration posts with a bunch of big-name brands of 433, BR Soccer, all that stuff that have a big outreach of soccer followers. So to me, and listening to that also with CONCACAF Champions Cup, this is a massive opportunity for Nashville to really make a name for themselves internationally. So it's huge.
Well, I think it's a good thing. Also, as we talked about in the Preds on this run, go support them.
Right.
So if they beat Atlanta Saturday, The next home game is the 25th, right, versus Charlotte.
Believe so. Yeah, I can double check.
And
that for you.
they need to put the home team on the bottom. I don't know why the home team's on top.
Thank you. It bothers me as well.
So Charlotte comes down the 25th. Pack Giotis, right?
Yeah, Pack Giotis, man.
I mean, it's celebrate this team for what they've done. I mean, it's just remarkable.
Let's see. Yeah, you're right. It is against Charlotte. It's 7:30 kickoff too. So
7:30.
a late one on the 25th.
Is it called a kickoff?
Yeah, kickoff.
They call that a kickoff? I thought in your little soccer world it's something else, like
Kickoff.
place the ball down and let's go or
All right.
something.
No. Drop the puck at center ice. No, it's not that. It's just kickoff.
Well, it's a face-off in hockey. Kickoff, tip-off, first pitch.
I said drop the puck at center ice. I know it's a face-off.
But that's what people call it. If you tell me face-off, I'm like, okay, I know that.
Yeah, I know.
If a kickoff, I know that. Tip-off, I know that.
Square
first pitch.
off, that's more like boxing.
So soccer is a kickoff?
Kickoff, yeah.
Okay. I'm learning, man. Give it to me,
That's
right?
fine. Yeah, we're learning together.
I'm embracing your little world. What about your little podcast?
Talking Calcio podcast. I'll be live tonight with Claudio Villalobos with Nashville Total Sports with his podcast. So you can get the audio version of the Talking Calcio podcast on the Game Nashville Sports Network.
Are you going live on the Game Nashville Sports Network tonight?
No, this is on his platform. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was invited. Yeah.
Look at you, man.
So
soccer expert Dr. Crane.
Yeah.
Or football.
Calcio.
What do you like it? Football?
I don't like football.
Just
calcio.
Okay.
Football is not. It's not me. It just doesn't scream Dr. Crane. Calcio screams Dr.
Calcio does. All right, we'll get back to our question of the day, which is there are grumblings that they're going to build another sphere like the one in Vegas. Why did I say it like that? Sphere. There we go. I like severe.
Severe.
I like Mrs. Wiggins. Sphere here in Nashville. There's grumblings out there. They're going to build two more, one in D.C., one in Nashville. Where do you think they should build a sphere if they bring it to Middle Tennessee? We need right answers. We need wrong answers. That's our question today, brought to you by Aries Tactical. Go to 615-737-1025. Call or text. Let us know if they're going to put a sphere in Nashville or Middle Tennessee. Where do you want the sphere to go? We have great answers. We need more answers from you guys. That's next. This is the Chase and Big Joe Show right here, brought to you by Omni Nashville Hotel, 102.5 The Game. All right, welcome back here to 102.5 The Game, the Chase and Big Joe Show. Chase off today, Dr. Crane in studio, Brando behind the board. We have Mayor Wes Golden, the mayor of Montgomery County, coming up at 2 o'clock as the Nashville Cats hit the field Friday night at F&M Bank Arena. It's be a fun time up there Friday night. If you had no plans, it might be sold out.
You excited for that, Joe?
Fired up. Me and George Plaster. Hold on a second now. George Plaster and I'll be doing the game Friday night. Then Chase will be back next week. So yeah, I am fired up for that. Look, it's fun.
Yep.
We had a ball last year doing that. It's fun. I mean, look, I love when dudes get smacked into the wall. It's exciting. You know, their games, they come back, they won in the last second. They kick a 40-yard field goal and they win the game. It's a lot of fun. Look, it's not the NFL, and I think that's the fun part about it. It's not.
Can't you get like points on the kickoff, right?
It's called a deuce. Make sure I say it's 2 points. The ball goes through the net. It's a deuce.
And it's worth 2 points.
Get your mind away from that. It's called a deuce.
Just saying.
I about said something else, which it's called a deuce. And so the ball goes through the net. It's fun. And look, that arena in Clarksville.
I mean, they sell it every time.
It's got the new car smell. I mean, it's really, really nice.
What brand?
What's a high end?
Maserati.
Lexus?
Yeah.
Lexus always smell good.
They have a nice plush leather.
Yeah, they do. So it's not a Waymo, which are stuck around town. Listen, folks.
I got something about Waymo yesterday.
Dr. Crane and I had this discussion a month ago about Waymo and what a disaster it is. See, the video was stuck on Demumbrian. It sat through like 12 red light cycles, wouldn't move, backed everybody up. I'm not getting in that nightmare. What's your Waymo thing?
Yesterday, as I was coming home, I guess there's like a Waymo, not factory, but like a headquarters over here.
I don't know.
They just pop out of traffic everywhere. You turn left and right, they're there. And I'm just like, why are they there?
Right.
So as I'm pulling straight through the light, this Waymo is like Hollywood stopping right in front of me, and it's not stopping. So I lay on my horn and it stops, and I just keep driving. I'm sick and tired of these things. I really am.
Keep going.
They're like rats. They just don't go away. There's no cheese in the streets.
Right.
Don't go and eat the cheddar. All right. Stay back out of the way. They need to get rid of these things. They really do.
There's no road rage against them. Who are you going to fight?
I mean, look, you can't slash your tires because then the company sues you.
Yeah. You're in a no-win thing here. So it's just the video. Tim Hasselbeck talked about his friend that was at the Phoenix airport and went around and around like 8 times. He missed his flight. Who's to say? I just know I'll get in that car and there'll be somebody, whatever the nerve center is, says, we got a code red. Jackass from Nashville's in this car. And then next thing I know, I'm in Myrtle Beach. My wallet's gone and I don't know what's going. The car won't stop. It'll take me someplace I don't want to go.
I'm wondering if like the whole, the Boring Company with the little like hole underneath the B&A airport that Elon's trying to build, why can't they just program the Waymos to go through that?
Because they'll do the Teslas, right?
Well, yeah, but what did they do like Waymo Teslas just to get it out of the way? Like, I don't want any of these electronic cars anywhere near traffic.
It is weird.
It's frustrating.
It is weird pulling up at a red light. I've been next to one and look over and nobody's there. It's very weird.
So there was a car. I mean, not a car. There was a show back in the day. It was
the Jetsons.
No, well, but there was a show where you would. It was called Drag Race something. I don't know, but it would just be cars. They would like soup up. There was one that was called Farm Truck, and they did a weird drag race where it showed up to where the guy was in the car, but they constructed the seat to where the person was behind the seat, so it looked like there was nobody driving the car. It was really weird. That's what the Waymos remind me of, is this weird drag racing car.
What kind of cars are they?
The Waymos?
Yeah.
I think they're Jaguars.
No.
Yeah.
They're not wasting money on a Jag. You Google real quick.
I believe so.
There's no way. I thought they were like Nissan Sentras.
Absolutely
Why
not.
do you keep turning your mic off? Stop doing that.
Because I hear an echo. Waymo cars.
Like, pinch hitting for Manny Moto. Pedro Bormon.
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Okay. Pace SUVs. Yeah.
How much are those things?
It's a great question.
I honestly thought they were Nissan.
$72,000
for each Waymo?
Yeah.
That's just the basic thing. Then they got to add everything else.
It's a fully electric driverless vehicle used for public transportation, commercial riding, and hauling services.
Do me a favor. We got the mayor. We got a minute. See if we call a Waymo, what the price would be right now. We want a Waymo to take us from Nashville to Clarksville. What that would be. I'm curious what the price of the Waymo is.
Average trip is $19 to $20. Let's see.
What do they consider average? Down the block?
Well, they said roughly 13 to 25% more expensive than an Uber or Lyft.
Okay.
Through the gap that is closing, they're saying. Rides can range from roughly $10 for a very short drive. Half-mile trips are over $45, and 10-plus miles are high-demand trips, which gives an undisclosed number of payment.
So if I book a Waymo from here to Clarksville for the Cats game Friday, I don't know what I'm paying.
You're probably going to be losing money.
Well, I'm not sure they're going to give me money.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you're going out there for a service, I'm sure they're not going to.
Right. So is it $40, $50?
Well, I'm thinking probably like $200. That's my guess.
To go from here to Clarksville?
In a
Hell,
Waymo?
I'd rather take a yak.
Yeah.
I'd be there in 3 days.
I've never taken a Waymo. I don't intend to sit in one, but that's my hunch.
Oh, we got a deep
During
dive.
the break, I'll see if I can schedule one.
All right, we will take a break. We'll go back with Mayor Wes Golden. He's the mayor of Montgomery County. As the Nashville Cats play Friday night, their season opener, and they have a game on the 25th as well. So we'll talk to the good mayor next about what else happening in Clarksville on Friday night. This is a big deal, folks. We'll have that and much more for you. This is the Chasing Big Joe Show, not brought to you by Waymo, but brought to you by Omni Nashville Hotel, who'll always tell you what the price is. We love the Omni Nashville Hotel. Back with more right after this.